Last month, a customer walked into my shop thinking she needed a simple transmission service. Instead, I delivered devastating news. Her transmission was completely destroyed, costing $7,200 to replace. The cause? One harmless driving habit she'd practiced for 15 years that 90% of automatic car owners do daily. After 2 decades repairing transmissions, I'm revealing 21 deadly mistakes ranked by severity, plus the industry secrets most shops won't share because they profit from your expensive repairs. Stay until the end, because mistake number 1 has personally cost my customers over $50,000 in repairs this year alone. Let's start with mistakes that seem harmless but create expensive problems over time. These foundation killers might not destroy your transmission immediately, but they set the stage for much bigger problems down the road. Mistake number 21, ignoring software updates. Repair cost $200 to $600. Your transmission's computer controls everything from shift timing to pressure regulation and torque converter lockup. Here's what happened to one of my regular customers. His 2019 Honda Accord started jerking during shifts, so he brought it to the dealership expecting the worst. They quoted him $1,200 for transmission work. The actual problem? A software update that took 20 minutes and cost nothing under warranty. Modern transmissions receive updates that fix shift patterns, improve fuel economy, and prevent component wear. Check with your dealer annually because these updates can save you thousands in premature repairs. Mistake number 20, mismatched tire pressure in all-wheel drive systems. Repair cost $500 to $800. All-wheel drive systems depend on precise wheel speed matching. When tire pressures differ by more than 3 psi between any wheels, the system thinks one wheel is slipping and constantly engages clutches and differentials. This creates excessive heat and accelerates wear throughout the drivetrain. I've replaced transfer case clutches on vehicles with only 40,000 miles because owners never bothered checking tire pressure. Keep all tires within 2 psi of each other, and your all-wheel drive system will thank you with years of reliable service. Mistake number 19, using generic transmission fluid. Repair cost $1,500 to $3,000. This one makes me cringe every single time I see it. A customer brought in his 2018 F-150 with harsh shifting after getting what he thought was a great deal on a transmission service. The budget shop used generic ATF instead of Mercon ULV, which is Ford's specific formula designed for that particular transmission. The generic fluid caused the clutches to slip and burn within 5,000 miles. The rebuild cost him $2,800. Here's what most people don't understand about transmission fluid. It's not just oil. It's hydraulic fluid, coolant, and lubricant all combined into one engineered product. Using the wrong type changes viscosity, additive packages, and friction characteristics in ways that destroy internal components. Always use the exact fluid type specified in your owner's manual. Yes, it costs about $5 more per quart, but it saves thousands in repairs. Mistake number 18, extended idling in drive position. Repair cost $800 to $1,200. Sitting in drive creates constant pressure against the torque converter, generating heat without proper cooling airflow. The transmission pump works harder, oil temperatures rise, and internal seals deteriorate faster than they should. During extended idle periods like drive-thrus, waiting zones, or traffic jams lasting more than 5 minutes, shift to park or neutral. This simple action relieves internal pressure and allows proper oil circulation throughout the transmission. Mistake number 17, checking fluid incorrectly. Repair cost leads to overfilling or underfilling damage. Most people check transmission fluid the same way they check engine oil, and that's completely wrong. Transmission fluid must be checked with the engine running, fully warmed up, and the transmission in park on level ground. The dipstick should show fluid between the minimum and maximum marks when these conditions are met. I've seen overfilled transmissions blow seals and underfilled ones burn clutches because owners checked fluid when the engine was cold or off. Follow your owner's manual procedure exactly, because incorrect fluid levels destroy transmissions faster than almost anything else you can do. Now we're entering territory where repair costs jump significantly. These intermediate destroyers cause damage that compounds over time, eventually leading to major component failures. Mistake number 16, partial parking brake engagement. Repair cost $300 to $800. I had a customer who couldn't figure out why her brake pads needed replacing every 6 months. She was spending a fortune on brake work and getting frustrated with what seemed like defective parts. During a routine inspection, I discovered her parking brake cable was sticking, creating constant drag that she couldn't feel while driving. This constant drag forces the transmission to work harder when in drive, generating excess heat and wearing internal components. The extra load also reduces fuel economy and accelerates brake wear throughout the entire system. Check your parking brake adjustment regularly. If it engages before the handle reaches the halfway point, it needs professional adjustment. Dragging brakes don't just wear pads. They overheat transmissions and create expensive problems. Mistake number 15, frequent short trips without proper warm-up. Repair cost $1,000 to $2,000. Short trips prevent transmission fluid from reaching optimal operating temperature. Cold fluid doesn't lubricate properly and condensation builds up inside the transmission case. This moisture dilutes the fluid and accelerates wear on every internal component. Transmissions need 3 to 5 minutes of normal driving to reach operating temperature. If you only drive short distances daily, extend 1 trip per week to fully warm the system and evaporate any accumulated moisture. This simple change dramatically extends transmission life. Mistake number 14, vehicle overloading beyond capacity, repair cost $1,500 to $3,000. Your transmission is designed for specific weight limits based on the gross vehicle weight rating. Exceeding these limits forces the transmission to work in lower gears longer, generating excessive heat and wearing clutches prematurely. I've rebuilt transmissions on pickup trucks used for moving where owners completely ignored weight ratings. They figured if the truck could move with the load, everything was fine. Check your door jamb sticker for GVWR and subtract your vehicle's curb weight. That's your actual payload capacity, and respecting these limits prevents expensive transmission damage. Mistake number 13, aggressive engine braking on long descents. Repair cost $2,000 to $4,000. Using lower gears for engine braking creates reverse torque loading on transmission components. While occasional use during normal driving is fine, aggressive downshifting on mountain roads or long descents can damage bands and clutches over time. Use your service brakes for primary speed control and let the transmission work normally. Modern transmissions have built-in downshift protection, but repeated aggressive engine braking can overcome these safeguards and cause internal damage. Mistake number 12, ignoring dashboard warning lights. Repair cost $500 to $5,000. I had a customer who ignored his wrench light for 3 months because the truck was still running fine. He kept saying he'd get to it when he had time. When he finally brought it in, what could have been a simple sensor replacement had turned into a complete transmission rebuild costing over $6,000. Dashboard warnings aren't suggestions or reminders for routine maintenance. They're urgent alerts about developing problems that need immediate attention. The transmission temperature light means stop driving immediately. The service light means schedule diagnosis within days, not weeks or months. Ignoring these warnings consistently turns minor repairs into major rebuilds. These mistakes cause serious internal damage that often requires complete transmission replacement. We're now in the territory where single incidents can create thousands of dollars in repair bills. Mistake number 11, constant hand pressure on gear selector. Repair cost $800 to $1,500. Resting your hand on the gear shifter applies constant pressure to internal shift forks and synchronizers. Over months and years, this seemingly innocent habit causes premature wear and eventually leads to difficult shifting or complete shift mechanism failure. Keep both hands on the steering wheel except when actively changing gears. This simple habit extends transmission life significantly while also improving your driving safety and vehicle control. Mistake number 10, neutral coasting for supposed fuel economy. Repair cost $600 to $1,000 plus safety risk. Some drivers shift to neutral while coasting downhill, thinking they're saving fuel. In reality, modern fuel injection systems use almost no fuel during deceleration when the transmission stays in gear. Worse, neutral coasting eliminates engine braking control and creates risk of transmission damage from rapid re-engagement at highway speeds. Keep your transmission in drive for maximum control and actual fuel efficiency. The computer manages fuel delivery more efficiently than manually shifting to neutral ever could. Mistake number 9, hard launches from complete stops. Repair costs $2,000 to $5,000. Flooring the accelerator from a dead stop creates massive torque shockwaves through the entire drivetrain. The torque converter and first gear clutches absorb this punishment repeatedly, leading to premature failure even in well-maintained vehicles. I've seen sports car transmissions fail with under 30,000 miles due to repeated hard launches at traffic lights. Accelerate progressively for the first few feet, then apply full power once you're moving. Your transmission will last significantly longer while still providing excellent performance when you need it. Mistake number 8, two-foot driving technique. Repair cost $400 to $800 plus significant safety risk. Some drivers trained on manual transmissions continue using both feet when driving automatics. This creates constant brake drag, overheating both the transmission and brake system. More importantly, it dramatically increases accident risk during emergency situations when both pedals might be pressed simultaneously. Automatic transmissions require single-foot operation. Use only your right foot for both accelerator and brake pedals. This ensures proper pedal pressure control and prevents simultaneous brake and accelerator application that can cause accidents. Mistake number 7, cold engine revving. Repair cost $1,500 to $4,000. Revving a cold engine forces thick, cold transmission fluid through narrow internal passages at high pressure before it's ready to flow properly. This creates hydraulic shock waves, damages seals, and accelerates wear on pumps, valves, and other precision components. Allow your engine to idle for 30 seconds after starting, then drive gently for the first few miles until everything reaches operating temperature. Cold oil needs time to circulate and warm up for proper lubrication and hydraulic function. We're now in the territory where a single mistake can destroy your transmission completely. These critical errors often result in immediate failure, requiring complete transmission replacement. Mistake number 6, driving through deep water. Repair cost $4,000 to $8,000. Water ingestion through the transmission breather or cooler lines causes immediate and catastrophic internal damage. I've seen transmissions hydro-lock from water contamination, requiring complete replacement because water doesn't compress like transmission fluid does. If you absolutely must drive through standing water, keep it below the bottom of your doors. If water enters the transmission case, stop immediately and have it professionally serviced before continuing to drive. Attempting to drive with water-contaminated fluid guarantees total transmission failure. Mistake number 5. Neglecting fluid changes. Repair cost $3,000 to $6,000. This is the big one that most people completely ignore until it's too late. Transmission fluid breaks down over time, losing its ability to lubricate and cool internal components properly. When fluid turns dark brown or black and develops a burnt smell, your transmission is already suffering internal damage that's accelerating every mile you drive. Despite manufacturer claims about lifetime fluid, you should change transmission fluid every 60 to 80,000 miles, or follow severe service intervals if you tow trailers, drive in stop-and-go traffic regularly, or live in extremely hot or cold climates. Fresh fluid is the cheapest insurance policy you can buy for your transmission. Mistake number 4, shifting to park before complete stop. Repair cost $2,000 to $4,000. The parking pal is a small metal piece that locks your transmission when you shift to park. Engaging park while the vehicle is still moving forces this pal against a spinning gear, causing immediate damage or complete breakage that allows your vehicle to roll away unexpectedly. Always come to a complete stop and feel the vehicle settle before shifting to park. This small habit prevents expensive parking pal replacement and eliminates the risk of dangerous rollaway situations. Mistake number 3, never using the parking brake. Repair cost $1,500 to $3,500. Parking on any incline without engaging the parking brake puts the full weight of your vehicle against that small parking pal we just discussed. Over time, this constant stress causes the pal to stretch, crack, or break completely, allowing your vehicle to roll away and potentially cause accidents or property damage. Use your parking brake every single time you park, especially on any type of incline. Engage the parking brake before shifting to park, then release it after shifting back to drive. This simple sequence protects the parking pal and prevents rollaway accidents that can have devastating consequences. Mistake number 2, using both feet for automatic driving. Repair cost $800 to $2,000 plus serious accident risk. This bears repeating because it's so dangerous. Some drivers continue using their left foot for braking when switching from manual to automatic transmissions. This creates constant brake drag that overheats the transmission and brake system, but more importantly, it significantly increases accident risk during emergency situations. When something unexpected happens and you need to stop quickly, using both feet often results in pressing both pedals simultaneously. This creates uncontrolled acceleration while braking, leading to accidents that could have been easily avoided. Automatic transmissions require single-foot operation for both safety and mechanical reasons. Train yourself to use only your right foot for both pedals, and you'll prevent both accidents and expensive mechanical damage. Mistake number 1, rapid reverse drive reverse shifting without stopping. Repair cost $5,000 to $8,000 or more. This is the absolute worst thing you can do to any automatic transmission, and it's surprisingly common. Rapidly shifting from reverse to drive to reverse without coming to a complete stop between changes creates massive hydraulic shock waves through the entire transmission system. Last year alone, I replaced 7 transmissions where this was the primary cause of failure. The youngest vehicle was only 4 years old, with 60,000 miles. The owner had developed a habit of using rapid reverse drive reverse shifts for parallel parking and tight maneuvering in parking lots. Here's what happens inside your transmission during rapid shifting. Each direction change creates a hydraulic pressure spike that exceeds design limits by hundreds of psi. Internal clutches slam together violently, bands stretch beyond their elastic limits, and valve body components crack from repeated shock loading. The damage accumulates invisibly until catastrophic failure occurs without warning. Always come to a complete stop between reverse and drive shifts, even if you're just making small positioning adjustments. This brief pause allows hydraulic pressures to equalize and prevents shock loading that destroys internal components. Your transmission is designed for smooth operation with proper pauses, not rapid direction changes under pressure. I've never seen a transmission survive more than 2 years of regular rapid shifting without major failure. This single mistake alone accounts for approximately 30% of premature transmission failures in vehicles under 10 years old. It's completely preventable with proper driving habits. Ignoring early warning signs. Total cost can exceed $10,000. The most expensive mistake isn't a single driving action. It's ignoring the early warning signs that your transmission is developing problems. Delayed engagement after shifting to drive, harsh or delayed shifts during acceleration, slipping sensations between gears, and unusual whining or grinding noises are all early indicators of transmission problems that can be addressed before they become catastrophic. I had a customer who experienced slight hesitation when shifting to drive but continued driving normally for 6 months because the problem seemed minor and intermittent. What started as a $400 solenoid replacement eventually became a $6,500 transmission rebuild because the initial problem caused cascading damage throughout the entire system. Early intervention saves thousands of dollars and prevents being stranded with a completely failed transmission. At the first sign of any transmission irregularity, have it diagnosed by a qualified technician who specializes in transmission work. Catching problems early often means simple adjustments or minor component repairs instead of complete system rebuilds. These 21 mistakes have cost my customers hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, but here's the good news. Every single one is completely preventable with proper driving habits and regular maintenance awareness. If this video saved you from even one expensive transmission repair, you need to watch my next video where I reveal the transmission fluid lie that's costing drivers $3,000. I'll show you exactly which fluid changes are actually unnecessary and which ones are absolutely critical for transmission survival. In the comments below, tell me which of these mistakes you've been making. I read every single response and often create follow-up videos based on your experiences and questions about specific situations. Hit that subscribe button because next week I'm exposing the brake fluid scam that 80% of shops use to overcharge customers. You'll learn exactly when brake fluid changes are necessary and when they're just profit generators designed to separate you from your money. Your transmission is one of your vehicle's most expensive and important components. Treat it right with proper driving habits and maintenance, and it'll serve you faithfully for 200,000 miles or more. Make these mistakes consistently, and you'll be shopping for a new vehicle much sooner than you planned. Drive smart, take care of your vehicle, and I'll see you in the next video.